What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the entry grade Build Strike Exceed Galaxy from Gundam Build Metaverse. Besides being the worst ever pun for being an entry grade, Iorise aimed to unleash the potential of the entry grade strike, and thus the Energy Glitter Circulation System or EG system, and numerous hardpoints are implemented for upped performance and unlimited customization potential. This version of the Build Strike is only made up of 5 runners, and despite it being based off the entry grade strike from before, 3 of the runners comprise the new armor parts. Of course, being an entry grade and all makes the build extremely simple, with the use of touch gates allowing you to twist the parts off the runners and achieve great visual results with a simple cleanup, and the minimal construction results in a build that comes together extremely quickly. That being said, while the newly molded parts don't reinvent the build, it still feels relatively fresh compared to the entry grade strike. But of course, since it uses the entire internal structure of its root kit, I would recommend you check out my video on the Grand Slam version for more details. Upon assembly, you get quite a dazzling entry grade kit for the Build Strike Exceed Galaxy, albeit looking a lot more tame and dull in comparison compared to the previous Build Strike variants due to the use of warm colors like reds and yellows being toned way back. Besides that, the kit is a phenomenal translation of the animation line art, with the spot on proportions, accurate color choices, and exemplary part separation, leaving only the head cameras and some recesses for the builder to fill in. But I think what really makes this kit shine is how it looks like a high grade with the sharper sculpting and more angular armor panels, coupled with the implemented surface detail, which makes it look a lot more advanced compared to a standard entry grade. I would highly recommend bringing them out, as well as maybe cleaning up the seam lines on the lower legs. As a whole though, while the design might have a bit of contention, it is undeniable that the entry grade Build Strike Exceed Galaxy is one hell of a well engineered looker. Articulation doesn't differ much from the original, even with the different armor, as the Exceed Galaxy uses all the same joints, so you can get a lot out of it. However, using the entry grade construction makes it feel a bit wonky to handle due to its spotty solidity. So be careful when you handle it and try not to play with it too much so as to not wear the joints out. In terms of accessories, besides the standard holding hands, you firstly get the beam rifle that looks rather unimpressive. It slides into the hand for use for mid-range combat, and the included beam effects can be plugged onto the top of the barrel to provide the firearm with a bayonet. Moreover, the barrel and handle can be separated for use as the barrel club and beam gun respectively, making full use of the versatile modular construction of the rifle, as well as revealing a rather impressive looking beam gun given that it is the central construction made up of just one piece. Next is the X shield, which plugs onto the forearms with a mount for defensive use and matches the overall aesthetic with the embedded crystal. On top of that and the ball jointed adjustment, the FF part used for the beam rifle can be plugged onto the shield as well for its melee function. Sadly though, that means you cannot have dual melee weapons. Lastly, there's the Galaxy Fighter, which is a small fighter that is fully color separated and doesn't look all that impressive, not even after plugging it onto the back of the Build Strike from opening the top flap and folding the peg out, as it is practically invisible from the front. Though one way to fix that is to flip out another peg in the bottom and mount the fighter onto either the arm or the leg hardpoints to enhance any punches or kicks with explosive thrust power and display the fighter being in use. Alternatively, the X shield can be stored on it, while the hardpoints all over them can be used for any attachment with a 3mm peg for customization. Besides that, the slots provided on the fighter means you can mount either the Plavsky wings or Plavsky power gate onto the kit as well, which is honestly a very nice touch. What's more, on top of the functional striker pack system, the hardpoints located on the shoulders, forearms, basket, knees, shins, and rifle add further customization potential with their own attachments, 2 provided peg-to-peg adapters, and the Exceed joints that replaces the striker pack and provides any strike mold with the universal double holes, an additional single hole, as well as a clip joint compatible with 30mm mission accessories. Though please excuse my very limited loadout. Lastly, due to the reuse of runners, the standard strike beam rifle is left over if you want to use that as well. Speaking of leftovers, you have the old cheek vents, chest frame, and kneecaps left over. It's not enough to revert the kit back to its root form, but frankly none of these are that useful in the first place. Being arguably the flagship model kit of the 10th anniversary of the Build series, the entry-grade Build Strike XC Galaxy is not only something I would highly recommend to beginners, but also to everyone else. Sure, it might have even less on offer compared to every other Build Strike, be it the visuals or gimmicks, and the entry-grade construction might be a bit dodgy in some places, especially for those who love to play with their kits, but the key thing about this one is to look at play from a different angle. Granted, it does have top-notch looks that makes it look like an advanced high grade, but that's mostly a cherry on top compared to the vast number of hardpoints and adapters you can use and abuse for customization or utility. At the end of the day, the whole message about Build is to have fun building and customizing your kits. And with the Build Strike XC Galaxy making this easier than ever before, there's no reason to pass this kit up, especially for beginners and custom builders. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and feel free to follow me on social media with the links down below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out guys, bye bye.